look at those first couple of verses and look how pointed he is, how much he's trying to get over to them that Jesus came in a body, a flesh body. We heard him, we saw him, we handled him, we touched him. Because what's happening is First John is they're removing Jesus from his body, because if they can take away Jesus from an actual body, then they don't have to worry about walking righteous in their body. We see this in I believe it's 2 Timothy. It could be first. I think it's 2 Timothy, and also 1 Corinthians 15, where you start seeing teachings come across of there is no resurrection, there is no bodily resurrection, or the resurrection's already passed. And what the people were doing, there's something called, and you can look this up, called docetism, which is based on a Greek word for it seems. And what they were saying was, it only seemed like Jesus had a body. He didn't really have a body. Because what was coming around in these churches based on philosophy is something called dualism. In other words, the spirit or the soul, the inward invisible part of man, was good. It had the divine spark. But anything in the material world, like your natural body, was evil. So, and of course that latched on in the church, because there's kind of a half-truth in that, because of course we're born in spiritual death, but when we get born again, our candles are lit, life comes into our spirit, but we still have a body from the first man, Adam, that's capable of sin. So therefore, we're kind of saying the same thing, right? The spirit is good, but the body's bad. But that's not really how it is. But philosophy leaked into the church, and then when the church, because they are wearing this body, that if you don't keep it under your born again spirit, it will influence you to sin. So they started putting the word of God together with this philosophy and saying, okay, the spirit's good and the body's bad. The body won't be redeemed. Therefore, it doesn't matter what you do in your body, because after all, it only seemed like Jesus had a body. He was this, according to Gnosticism, this divine spark, but he really left the body before the body went to the cross. Or if they say Jesus did come in a body, that when he died, that he escaped his body, and therefore there is no glorification of the body. And what that gave them license to do, then now they can say, so it doesn't really matter what you do in your body, because the body's not going to be redeemed. It's the born again spirit that's going to go on. So in other words, they had to get rid of the glorified body, because if Jesus has a glorified body, and then you and I have a glorified body, that somehow puts the responsibility on us to walk righteous in our body. So by changing these subtle doctrines, they were excusing themselves to sin